Racquet Head Speed. Racquet Head Speed, big forehands, big backhands, big serves. I want to talk about the story behind junior tennis and what actually happens with young tennis players as they come up, and get into some of the reasons why things happen. And primarily what we're looking at here is a bunch of, first of all, you got this, take as an example to get this started. You have two kids, say, take two boys, 12 years old. Both are 12 years old. Both are biologically different. You got one who's biologically like a 14-year-old, and then you got other one who's biologically like an 11-year-old. Yet they're both 12 years old. The one that's more like a 14-year-old wins the match. And people that are watching cannot see this, or they can, but they don't, they don't want to say anything, etc., etc. They don't want to make excuses, whatever. This is what we have. This is what's happening. You got two kids, same age. One's actually bigger, stronger, faster than the other. That's why they win. And this happens all the way up until 16, 17, 18, sometimes 19, 20, and on and on and on, where what tends to happen, everything starts to level out, and now we have an actual competition. Now, I want to circle back to what happens from a lessons standpoint as well. We also have, you have to take the two 12-year-olds in. The one 12-year-old, maybe he plays a little bit of tennis, but he's not taking lessons. The other 12-year-old, he's playing about the same amount of tennis, but he takes lessons on top of that. He's learning all these so-called cheat codes, the modern forehand, how to do this, how to do that, blah, blah, blah. And he goes into his match and he's winning. He's winning these matches. And it seems like, oh, well, the reason why that kid's better is because he takes lessons, because he has fast racket head speed, and blah, 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 blah. Well, that all may be true in the moment, but at the end of the day, when you get a real competition, when we're talking about as these kids get older, they become adults, we get a real competition, then none of those things matter. But people think they do matter because they can't see any of this. They think that they think that this stuff does matter. They're doing this all the way into the pros. And what makes it even worse is there's always going to be, like, take the pros, for example. A lot of these guys are probably picked, chosen, because they're 6'5". They have extraordinary speed or strength. There's some special quality to them that beats the whole field without actually doing anything. Like actually doing anything with their mind. It's all physical. And this gives the false impression to the learner that anybody can do this. Wrong. It's not like that. That's absolutely wrong. Anyone cannot do this. It's take a pool of 100 guys. They're all doing the same thing. The one that's going to come out on top is the lucky one. With the best genetics for what we're talking about. That's really what this is. That's what tennis is as a whole, because everyone's teaching this way rather than teaching the mind and training the mind and training actually playing matches and how to win, etc., etc. And I'm telling you right now, the tennis player, in most cases, if not all, the tennis player that is playing more tennis, specifically more matches, but just more tennis in general, will win 90% of the time against anybody. So if you have a kid, let's just take juniors, for example. You have a kid, he's playing 3 days a week. He's 12 years old. You have another 12-year-old who's playing 6 days a week. 99% of the time, that kid who's playing 6 days a week is winning against the kid that's playing 3 days a week. And that might be, I don't know how far up the line you can take that, but I would say as an adult it becomes a little bit different. And all of this combined together is creating the tons and tons and tons of false ideas and false information that all these people in tennis have in their head, including the coaches, including the pros, including the parents, including the players, including the onlookers. All of them are fooled by all of this. Why is this important? Well, from a teaching standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, it's a little frustrating. And the reason that it's a little frustrating is because you can't do anything but train like a military. That's the only thing you can do is train like a military man. At Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for church. Forehand after forehand after forehand after backhand after backhand.